California State University Northridge is hosting its third annual electric vehicle car show, showcasing the latest innovation in sustainable transportation. The Super Bloom is a sight to see, painting the California landscape even colors Picasso would envy. A fresh coat of snow covers Big Bear Lake as an atmospheric river storm brought relentless rain to Southern California this past week. California State University Northridge is hosting its third annual electric vehicle car show, showcasing the latest innovation in sustainable transportation. From sleek Turbo S's to powerful SUVs, all taking center stage at CSUN Sustainability Center for spectators to see. Porsche Woodland Hills was one of the exhibitors, unveiling their latest lineup. Its renowned luxury sports cars have made advancements with its commitment to high performance and eco-conscious style.
One thing that the Taycan and Porsche does really well is being able to repeat performance and power. The Taycan can repeat the 0 to 60 over and over and over again until that battery dies.
Car enthusiasts saw the company's newest models. Many of them even had a chance to test ride. Porsche and other car companies hope with its aesthetic cutting-edge design and colors, it will get people to transition to a cleaner vehicle option.
So I think it's really cool and awesome that CSUN hosts events like these, especially to CSUN students, so we're able to, explore new renewable energy.
Analytics and advisory company Gallup.com says about 4% of Americans currently own an EV as of last year. The Biden administration plans to issue climate regulations designed to ensure 67% of the nation will use all electric and hybrid vehicles by 2032. The road ahead is looking clean as many car companies are putting more effort into evolving their vehicles to meet the nation's goal of a cleaner environment. Reporting from Northridge for Valley View News, I'm Jasmine Cuza. The Super Bloom is a sight to see, painting the California landscape even colors Picasso would envy. The beautiful phenomenon happens once a year, welcoming the beginning of spring. The flower fields at Carlsbad Ranch is known for its stunning display of vibrant flowers. Visitors come from all over to witness them blooming.
I like the colors and how colorful it is. It's a nice place to visit during spring.
About 80,000 ranunculus flower bulbs are planted in the early fall by farm workers. After California's rainy season, the flowers start to bloom in early March. Workers then spend the remainder of the spring season picking and harvesting flowers for visitors to buy. The process is, the seed is planted and it's now picked. It is picked as a pure flower and sold in the market. Millions of flowers are sold at the peak of freshness in the markets on the ranch. Customers are able to build their own bouquets and customize their own flower pots. It gives them the opportunity to take home a piece of the vibrant landscape. The Super Bloom is going on until early May. People still have a chance to immerse themselves in the beautiful spectacle across many parks and farms in the state. For Valley View News, I'm Jasmine Cuza. A fresh coat of snow covers Big Bear Lake as an atmospheric river storm brought relentless rain to Southern California this past week. Despite a late start this year, the fresh snowfall has brought many visitors to the mountain communities to enjoy outdoor winter activities. Ski resorts and rental shops in the San Bernardino Mountains are bustling with people hitting the slopes. The surge in tourism is bringing in a lot of revenue for the small towns, and local businesses in the area are reaping the benefits. Big Bear Mountain Resort is one of them.
Anytime the snow shows up, that's when people want to get up here and have some fun. Skiing, snowboarding, tubing, get out on the snow, take their family photos, all that fun stuff. So definitely seen an increase in volume as the month has gone on, and expect that to continue, especially with more systems coming through.
The spirit is high at the mountaintop, and locals are wasting no time in embracing the winter wonderland that Big Bear has become.
I mean, I live up here. I've been watching the snow come down and fall, but it's awesome being up here now that we've got, boardable or skiable snow.
Forecasts show that the snow will fall through the winter. The Big Bear Chambers of Commerce expects thousands of tourists to flock the area, giving an even bigger boost to the local economy. Reporting from Big Bear, for Valley View, I'm Jasmine Cuza. A person is dead and 13 are injured after a suspect stole an 18-wheeler truck and crashed into a Department of Public Safety office in Branham, Texas. Lifetime is releasing a documentary about Nicole Brown Simpson, O.J. Simpson's ex-wife. The world number one Scotty Scheffler has won his second Masters title. Since arriving to the greens at Augusta, Georgia, Scheffler was expected to win. Wow, would you get a goat, Cooper?
I probably would never ever get a goat, but it is pretty surprising that they can walk for that long.
Right? It's been 7 years since deadly Hurricane Maria battered Puerto Rico, and as a federal audit reveals, a lot of work is still to be done. Many parts of the island still endure the after effects of the storm, with very little relief in sight. The storm ravaged through the area, and its trail is still seen today in many infrastructures. A report from the U.S. Government Accountability Office says Puerto Rico has spent less than 10% of the $23 billion federal funds available to help rebuild. More than $11 billion from the budget still requires approval from FEMA. For a small community on the island's coast called La Perla, the storm had no mercy. Carmen Lopez Rivera works for the community board and says residents had to turn to each other for help. Thank God we did not have losses of any resident that has to do related to the hurricane, but we did suffer because many of the houses deteriorated. A substantial amount of permanent projects are still pending, and it's unclear why the territory's government hasn't taken steps to access the funds. Many agencies expect to turn in applications for rebuilding projects by 2030. Until then, Lopez says the community will have to rely on unity as their only beacon of hope. We are a blessed community because we are united. Reporting from San Juan, Puerto Rico for Valley View News, I'm Jasmine Cuza. Israel has accepted a 6-week ceasefire proposal in Gaza following a second phase to create a solution. The ceasefire will allow more vulnerable hostages to be released in Gaza, as well as aid into the enclave. Talks to reach a ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas are underway, as Hamas still hasn't accepted the proposal. The US, Qatar, Egypt, and Israel are expected to take part in the meeting. Vice President Kamala Harris is meeting with Israeli officials to discuss the matter.
Hamas claims it wants a ceasefire. Well, there is a deal on the table. And as we have said, Hamas needs to agree to that deal. Let's get a ceasefire. Let's reunite the hostages with their families.
The U.S. and Jordan have dropped humanitarian aid into Gaza, though more is necessary. Israel has ordered the closure of Al Jazeera, in the country calling it a criminal act. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu shared on X that the decision was unanimous and immediate action was planned. Al Jazeera's broadcast equipment was taken and the network was removed from cable and satellite. The Israeli Ministry of Communications blocked Al Jazeera's websites. Netanyahu accused of Al Jazeera of inciting against Israel Defense Forces soldiers and harming Israel's security. Al Jazeera condemned the decision and said they had every right to access the information. The UN Secretary General and other human rights groups condemned the closure, citing the freedom of press. Immigration is proving to be a top concern among many Americans in this year's election. In a recent poll by Gallup, 28% of Americans list immigration as the most important problem. 54% of independents think illegal immigration is a critical threat. Recently, a bipartisan negotiation took place in response to the record-breaking number of crossings. Just in December, crossings at the southern border peaked at over 300,000. The bipartisan Senate bill would add more than 1,500 new Customs and Border Protection personnel and includes a $20 billion agreement on border security. It would be the first time since 2019 that Americans consider immigration the country's biggest issue. At least 57 are dead and hundreds are missing following flash flooding in Brazil. The local government has declared a state of calamity in some areas where more than 67,000 people have been impacted. Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva met with officials to oversee relief efforts. On Saturday, water levels in Guaíba Lake rose 5 meters. Authorities are carefully monitoring dams as they are not equipped to hold a lot of rain. The climate crisis, such as burning fossil fuels, is the cause for the supercharging weather, and it could get worse over time. That's the very latest from the Digital Media Center. I'm Jasmine Cuza. Back to you.